Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutakabbala. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So here we are with our session number 164. 64 for Quranic Arabic grammar and session number 15 for Surah Taha, Nahw and Sarf. Inshallah, we are going to start with a quick review of the concepts that we have gone over in our last session. My first question, I'm going to ask you a few questions about the last sessions and we'll see if you have really understood the concept about qad. So who can tell me the purpose of qad in Quran? There are 5 different types of qad that you have learned in our last session, but I want you the main I want you to tell the main use of qad in Quran. When you see this word qad, what should come to your mind? The first thing that should come to your mind is emphasis and certainty. Barakallahu feek. So everyone with me on this. If I ever ask you again, if you are ever posed this question, will you be able to correctly answer? That the main usage of qad in Quran is for emphasis and certainty. You all agree? I see answers from Sister Shamim, Sister Azra, Sister Aisha, and Sister Faiza. So these girls all say that the first thing that we are going to see whenever we are going to see qad, we are going to treat it as a word that is there for tahqiq and for ta'keed. It is bringing emphasis in our sentence. So barakallahu feek. And however, there are other types of qad as well, but you are going to focus on that type of qad. In our last session, we also went over the use of kabiran and kasiran, right? So I would just rephrase whatever I said in the last session. Were you all able to get my slide about kabiran and kasiran? Were you able to see when you see yes, it has been uploaded, alhamdulillah. So when you see, my dear sisters, these words, kasiran and qalilan, and you see it describing hadas. What is hadas? What do you mean by when I say hadas? It means an action. When that is coming up as a sifa for any action, you have to think about, maful mutlaq naiban al masdar. Okay? In that case, start thinking about maful mutlaq naib anil masdar. For example, I have put several verses from Quran just for your understanding. And since I did not go over these verses with you, I just want you to go over them on your at your own time, and few of the verses we can do together. Wala yaskuruna Allah illa qalila. So what is qalil here? What is mentioned as being done qalil by these wawil jama'a? What do you think? And not they mention Allah except very little. So it is dhikran qalilan, right? It's probably dhikran qalilan. فَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And they do not believe except very little. So what is this here? Imanan qalila. So when you see this word, why are you calling, or why someone call it maful mutlaq, though the root letters are not matching? Are they matching? Is there any connection between root letters, between these two words? No, you're not seeing anything. But you are saying that you understand it as imanan qalilan. This qalilan is a sifa for iman, right? Which was maful mutlaq from word yu'minuna. And that is why we are calling it naib. We are not, calling qalilan masdar for yu'minuna maful, we are labeling it as naib or representative of iman. Everyone with me on this? Because some sisters, I know they have understood it very well, and some have previously learned it, so it's easy for them. But for those people who are learning it for the first time, please make sure you go through these verses of Quran and look at this left hand column for yourself. Okay, so what does the verse exactly mean? And I also put one thing in the on the top. Did you notice ya ayyuhal lazina? 1 second. here. Amanu, ya ayyuhallazina amanu zkurullaha zikran kathira. Oh, those who have believed, you all mention Allah, a greater mention, right? So sometimes this maf'ul mutlaq is going to be visible, and in other cases, when you are seeing these words by themselves, then you are going to think of them as representative of their maf'ul mutlaq that they are describing. That they are, for example, if you do this verse, you are going to be, nida munada, amanu, silatul mawsul, and uskuru, filul amr, Allah, maf'ul bihi, and zikran. What will be the labeling for zikran? How will you label zikran, my dear sisters? Maf'ul mutlaq. And kathiran is the sifa for maf'ul mutlaq, right? And sometimes this zikran may not be there, as it is not here, right? In Surah An-Nisa. It is not here in other verses of Quran as well. Okay, so in those cases, you are assuming it to be there, and you are going to, when you think this kathir or qalil is talking about those actions, then you are going to, label it as maf'ul mutlaq naiban al masdar. Okay, if you are all with me, type 1. Aisha, is this concept clear? Because this is a hard one. Because to find out zikran kalilan is easy, but when you do not see it being there, when something has been omitted, that makes things, hard. So for all of you, go back to this slide. If you still don't know, please refer to this slide. When you see qad and there is a fi'l mudari mentioned with the doer lafzul jalala, is that qad for taqleel or shak, or what is the purpose of qad? It is again for tahqiq. Do not forget to look at this part of the slide as well. Okay, so qad plus madin or mudari, it is only and only for tahqiq. Okay, so tahqiq faqat means it is just for the emphasis and tawheed. You are not going to think about anything else, but there's no shak or takleel in this case. Okay, because with mudari, the first thing that you will learn is takleel and shak. That action may not happen, there may be very less frequency of action. So but when it comes to lafzul jalala, like we can see in Suratul Baqarah, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ. So in that case, there is no takleel, there is no shak, there is full certainty. We know for sure Allah is all seeing, as we have learned in Surah Taha, right? So now that was that, and I think that was pretty much it that I was wanting to review with you guys. I think we can go on to do our verses, and we were here. So, utita. Who remembers utita? What kind of a sentence we are seeing after qad? There is majhul, and this is jumla failure, and this is madin majhul. And if I ask you, what are we going to see in Arabic when a verb is majhul? What do we look for? Naibul fa'il. Because what is the unawareness about? What is the ignorance about? Ignorance is about fa'il, right? That is what makes fail majhul. The doer is unknown, and that is why the fail is called majhul. So naibul fa'il in this case is anta, barakallahu feek. You can call it ta'ul mukhatiba. So because we have learned it as ta'ul fa'il, right? The ta we have learned as ta'ul fa'il. So now it is, now it's not a doer. So it will be wrong to call it a doer. So we can call it ta'ul mukhatiba because it is a second person. Anta. You all agree with me? When it is, we can just call it ta'ul mukhatib. Okay. So now this is ta'ul mukhatiba is going to be the naibul file in this case, and su'laka. And naibul file is rafin status, barakallahu feek. Very well done, mafulun bihi. And su'la is your masdar. Okay, so it has a meaning of mas'ul. Okay, is this clear to each and every one of you? And Ya Musa, we are going to call it Jumla Itradiya. It is Nida Munada. We have done it several times. So now I'm going to go over verse number 37. My dear students, we have not learned oaths in Quran yet. That is a topic that I still have to go over. That is why in our, in a session, couple of sessions ago, when I was teaching you Iza, the different types of Iza, I did not go into the, there is a qasam here and that is mutalik bil qasam and stuff like that, because I have not taught you formally the qasam. You may have learned it. Some of my students have learned it at, a year or so ago, actually more than 2 years ago. And then some of you may have learned it from other resources, but I have to teach you qasam as as a topic yet. So I'm not going into the details of qasam yet. So keep that in mind, okay? However, there is a small short on my YouTube about laqad. So if you want to see that, that may help you a bit. But if you have not learned qasam, then it's not going to be very helpful. So wow is going to be, you can call it atf, lam. We can skip, and let's start with qad. Jazakallah khair. Sister Faiza is going to post the video for Laqad in she's going to share that video in the WhatsApp group. So now let's learn about Qad. Qad is what? We have learned it in our last session, so it should not be a problem, right? Qad comes with Mazi, and can it not come with Mudare, my dear sisters? What do you think? It can come with Mudare as well, right? It can come in Madin, it can come in Mudare. Barakallahu feek. Very well done. Okay, so now you are seeing that it can come with both of them. And in Quran, many grammarians say the purpose of this qad is emphasis, 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 and just emphasis. They say that this is, some very frankly say, but though we have been taught, 4 or 5 types, but they say that in Quran, the main usage of qad is to emphasize a sentence. It is not for taqleel, it is not for shak, it is just for tehqiq and tawqeed. Okay, so now qad is emphasizing your jumla fi'liya fi'l madin mananna. So mananna fi'l madin, who is the doer? Give me the doer, and can you see the doer? Now al-fa'ilin or now al-mutakallimin is the doer, and you all can see the doer. When you can see the doer, you call it, what is the name? When you can see the doer, when the doer is visible, when a pronoun is visible, actually the pronoun is visible, it is baris. Barakallahu feek. Alayka. There is a combination. It's a alayka is your jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fi'l. Is this clear? Okay. Marratan ukhra. What is marratan ukhra? How are they two connected to each other? Let's connect them together. Okay, so let me show you the translation, and then I'm going to ask you something. When I see, we have already conferred favor upon you another time. So this time is talking about what? They are mawsuf sifa, because all 4 properties are matching, both feminine, both singular, both we are going to, the one both common. And the status of ukhra, we can say that this is mansub bil fatatul muqaddara al alif. Okay, is it so you are saying that this is another time. Okay, so we have conferred upon you another time. Is it another time? What another time? Is it mannan maratan ukhra? Is it, is it talking about the man that Allah has done? Hmm? Can we say that this verse here, maratan ukhra, the marra word is actually talking about the man. And now to translate man for me. What is the meaning of man? Mim noon mushaddada. Meme noon mushaddada, if I tell you the favor, very well done. And the favor is the masdar, right? When I say man, from manna yamunnu. Man is a favor and it is a masdar for the fail, right? So this marra is deputy for that man. Do you all agree? Can we say that this is naib for that man? That we have done another favor on you? Manna nukhra? Yes, the same concept is going to be applied here. When you see words like marra, also think about that. Okay? Words like marra, also think about those things. Not always, but for example, qalil and kasir, they are used as ismu kana, or they may be used as for time. They may be used for as mubtada as well. My dear sisters, keep that in mind. But to be specific, when they are describing hadas, you are going to think about maful mutlaq, naib anil masdar. Same is the case with marra. Okay, words like marra, you can think about them like in a similar manner, that is it, if this marra is talking about an action, and it can it be maful mutlaq, which is naib anil masdar. Translate the words for yourself. That is why sometimes context is very helpful, and that helps you determine the correct i'rab of something. Okay, but the method that you are going to apply is that you are going to make a list of such words. Am I making any sense? Or because I am post call, my dear students, so I just want to make sure that you are understanding each and everything. Okay, so you have to, just like I made a table for you for um qalilan and kasiran, and want you to think about those words when they are describing an action, hadas, that that they can be maful mutlaq naib anil masdar. Similarly, this marra is another word that we are going to put in our notebook, and we are going to put in our notes, and we can keep them as a separate slide for them, couple of slides for them, the special words in Quran that can be used for as naib anil masdar. Okay, yeah, those kind of things, this is that is going to help you, quickly think about, is it coming for that? Then things are super duper easy. I was it's so surprised, just like I have updated my slides, and I've sent them to Sister Faiza yesterday afternoon, and then later on, and a person wrote a very similar description for an answer for naib anil masdar. So I was like, how alhamdulillah, the people who are thinking in separate homes, in separate countries, and in different in parts of the world, and they're thinking the same thing when it comes to Quran, how Quran unites us all together, alhamdulillah. So but um hadith concept is found many times. I don't understand your question. You can unmute yourself and ask me. Yeah, just basically when you are, when you see maful mutlaq, when you are expecting, when you are expecting something describing the action, and the same action as the fail itself, and there is a number of times mentioned, you have to think about the concept of naib anil masdar. Okay, maful mutlaq naib anil masdar. Okay, the whole term, if that answers your question. Okay, inshallah. So again, this is the same thing, and I hope you all are good with this so far. And just remember that they are mawsuf and sifa, and that your whatever is going to be the naib, it's going to follow the thing in status as well. It's going to be the complete naib for that. It is going to be a complete representative of that. So what is the status for maful mutlaq? What do you think? The status given to maful mutlaq. It is nasbin status, and marra is also nasbin status. It should be nasbin status because it's also a detail, right? Just taking a place of something. So now comes your verse number 38. Are we good with verse number 37? Everyone understood everything so far? Alhamdulillah. Now it is very important that is awhayna ila ummik. Now you have a verse before, and now since the page of Usmani Musaf changes, we have favored, we have already conferred favor upon you another time. Okay, so now think about this is. Among the 6 and among the 8, I think it is almost 8 types. Very well done. Very well done. What about we have a brother in our class today, Muhammad Islam. What do you think, brother? It is a zarf. Very well done. Cannot be fujaiya. It's going to be connected. We are going to connect it to whatever is before, because you remember eh, when is this fujaiya? What is something that comes before is for it to be fujaiya? What did we learn? What have we learned before? When is this fujaiya? I'm talking about is fujaiya. No, 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 no. When we talk about is fujaiya, not iza fujaiya. I'm talking about is fujaiya. Remember when I was teaching you is fujaiya, we learned over hadith Jibrail. So hadith Jibril says baina, there was a word before it. Baina au baina ma must be present before is fujaiya. Okay, there may be exceptions, but how you learn it is that this comes after is fujaiya, comes after baina or baina ma. Okay, everyone with me? Everyone got it? Did we see baina or bainama before to call this is as is fujaiya? No problem. And that's why we do the practice. My dear sisters, the grammar books are there. You can buy them, and much cheaper. And alhamdulillah, all the material is there. You are in this class to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes and to practically apply all the concepts that you have learned. Okay, now you are saying this is muta'alliq bil fail, and that is the correct answer. It is muta'alliq with mananna. Many books, Sister Zohra, there are many books. Lisanul Quran, Bayyana Dream Book. There are many Qawaidul Quran. Many books are there, right? So all, and there's a lot of information, but how to use it, and how to apply it on Quran, how to practice it, that is why the classes are conducted. Okay, so now let's come back. Is ismiya from the right hand column. If you remember, when we were doing our is, we have is al ismiya, and it can be denoting, it is a zarf for fail madin mainly, but sometimes can be used for mustaqbil. Okay, in the meaning of hina. And sometimes it can be maful bihi, sometimes can be badal from maful bihi, sometimes can be mudaf ilayhi, sometimes it can be yoma is munabbanan, right? So now come back and see this one. Sister Faiza calls it muta'alliq bil mananna. Do you all agree? Because she called it muta'alliq bil fail, and the fail that I have seen before was mananna. Do you all agree that this is muta'alliq bil mananna? Okay. If it is, you can see after is, what do we look for? Very well done, Sister Salma. After you have found out that your is al ismiya, and it is al ismiya, the first step is it is also mudaf, and you have to look for this mudafun ilayhi, and its mudaf ilayhi is can be jumla ismiya too, but here it is jumla feiliya. Awhayna, right? Ila ummik. Awhayna, what kind of a jumla feiliya we are seeing? It is fail madin with file, naul filein. Damir is baris in this case. Ila ummik. Ila ummik is going to be your jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail. Ummik is in idafa as well. The status of kaf here is jar because of idafa. Now comes this ma. When we revealed to your mother what we revealed, this ma is mausula, and it is fi mahalli nasbin, maful bihi for awhayna, right? And yuha, when you look at yuha, it is your silatul mausul. The status of your silatul mausul is La mahalla laha min al-i'rab, and your silatul mawsul is jumla failure, and jumla failure mudare, and mudare is mabni lil majhul, and naibul file barakallahu feek here is huwa. Do you all agree with this? And is this too hard? Is this a concept that we have never gone over? Um, I will keep it as Mosula here. I have to, I think I would keep it Mosula here. And we revealed to your mother what we revealed, what it was revealed. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should call it, but I have personally labeled it as Mosul. Yeah, barakallahu feek. Yeah, yeah, mostly, with barakallahu feek, yeah, the mostly, but still there can be, there are exceptions to those three as well. The rules that we have gone over, that ma masdariya is often beaten up by harf jar. Ma masdariya is often followed by fi'il madin. Ma masdariya you has the same fail before and after, and in this case the same fail is there before and after, but it seems like if I look at the context, it seems like ma mosula makes I chose ma mosula, so yeah. So yes, thank you so much for bringing and that to the for discussion, because that is very important, that how we discuss things and we can then figure out what is going to be the most accurate labeling for ma or any word for that matter. Everyone understood this so far? What will be the status of ma? Nasb. Okay. Are we clear? Everything clear as far as verse number 38 goes? So this is going to be, the status of this is, the highlighted portion is fi mahalli jarin. Sister Rabia, right? You all, Sister Rashda, everyone agrees that this is fi mahalli jar, right? Sister Zarina, I'm very happy to see all of you participating. Alhamdulillah. Now let's look at verse number 39. And before I look at an, I'm going to ask you to attempt the rest of the verse first, okay? Ikzifihi. What are we seeing here? Failul amr. Every fail has a doer. And Sister Faiza, don't write the doer. Ah. Hold your horses, guys. No problem, no problem. Okay, so you all agree that there is a doer. There is a doer that I can see here. How many of you say the doer is visible? It is Damir Baris. How many of you are saying that this is Damir Baris and Ya is the doer? And Ya is not Damir Mutakallim. I am going to say this is Damir Mutakallim. This is an attached pronoun. What's the problem if I call it attached pronoun Ya Mutakallim? Why not? Barakallahu feek. There is no nunul waqaya. Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. Barakallahu feek. This is not a noun. Barakallahu feek, Sister Zarina. Sister Zarina says this is not a noun, number one. Number two, this does not have a nunul waqaya. So this cannot be yaul mutakallim. So I agree with you guys. When you compare yaul mukhatiba with yaul mutakallim, what is the status for yaul mutakallim and what is the status for yaul mukhatiba? How are they different in their statuses? The common statuses that are used for them, that we learn in for the purposes of Quranic Arabic grammar. So for yaul mukhatiba, it's always rough in status. No matter which fail it comes with, it is going to be always rough in status, right? Yaul mukhatiba always rough in status because either it's going to be file or naibul file or ismu fail nakis wa akhawatuha, right? So this is clear to all of you. When it comes to the status of yaul mutakallim, it is nasb or jar, right? For the Quranic purposes, it is either nasb or jar only. Okay. When it comes to the attachment, yaul mukhataba can only be seen with the fail. Right? You only see yaul mukhataba with a fail, but yaul mutakallim can be seen with all three: ism, fail, harf. Right? So all three. What else was different? There was a noon that is seen sometimes with yaul mutakallim. Noon is not seen with yaul mukhataba. Right? When it comes to yaul mutakallim, is it gender specific? What do you think? It is not. It is I masculine, I feminine. If I have to use yaul mutakallim, I can use ismi Saima. And if my husband has to say, my name is Imran, it's going to be ismi Imran. The same yaul mutakallim is going to be used by both of us. But when it comes to yaul mukhataba, is it gender specific? Is it only for feminine? Yes. Barakallahu feek. And here is your yaul mukhataba, that is for your auntie, right? It is representative of the mir auntie. And ha here, the last pronoun that you are going to see here after yaul mukhataba, you are seeing another pronoun which is maful bihi, and this is ha, and that is fi mahalli nasbin. And one quick question, um so this one yal mukhataba is always rough in status. Now failul amr, I have been telling you to think about it. Is it mabni or mu'arrab? Does it have a fixed ending or its ending changes? It has a fixed ending. You are all saying it is fixed in its ending. It's non-flexible. So previously, when we were looking a lot of amars in our Surah Taha, we have been calling it mabni ala sakun. Now this is going to be mabni. How is it mabni? Hasbun noon. Very well done. Which category of af'al have yaul mukhataba? Af'alul khamsa have yaul mukhataba. Very well done. Very well done. Af'alul khamsa have yaul mukhataba, and this failul amr is mabni ala hasfin noon. Everyone with me so far that noon got dropped, right? You have to always drop something, right? You have to make it change it to the majzoom form after you remove the alamatul mudare. The next thing is you drop the noon, right? So we have been learning all that. So it's very important that we go over the concepts that we have already learned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing to the mother of Musa, throw him fit tabut. Put him in the chest. Fit tabut, jar wal majroor mutalik will fail. Barakallahu feek. Now, fakzifi. Now this one is an easy fa. So I'm going to ask you about this fa. What kind of a fa are you seeing here? There is one action and then do this. So this is faul atf. Faul atf. Very well done. Isn't it giving you the sequence and succession? Tartib wa taqib. First you have to put him in the tabut. First step is, look at this one. First step is put him in a chest and then throw the chest in the water. So now here, if the vow was there, that sisters have questions, will it serve the same function as fa is doing? Will you have the sequence and the succession? Will you have tartib wa taqib? No, you cannot. And very rightly, Allah has placed fa ul atf there. So make sure you go over your notes, the difference between waul atf and faul atf. Okay? Fil yummy is going to be the same. We have done this already, so I'm not going to repeat it. Fil yummy is going to be your muta'alliq bil fail. Right? Muta'alliq bil fail, jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail, ikzifi. Right? Muta'alliq bil fail. Okay. Fal yulqihil yam. Now what water will do? Fal, how many words are here? count them with open eyes. And okay, now look at the words. Some are saying 3, some are saying 4. So what should I do now? So there are, let me see, let me count, okay? The first one is fa. This fa is going to be, again, we can call it faul atf, right? This lam, what is this lam? Guys, open your eyes. This cannot be tali. I'm not going to take that an answer. I'm going to hit you guys. I'm going to ask you, come to live session. I'm not doing Zoom sessions anymore. One thing is, if it was lamu ta'lil, it will not take sukoon. It is going to remain, it's going to keep its lam kasra. Okay? Now, this lam kasra got changed into a sukoon. The lam that we have learned, we have gone over, the lam that changes its kasra to sukoon when preceded by fa, waw, and summa. Fa, waw, and summa is called lamul amr. And also, you have another proof that this is lamul amr. Look at the fail after it. What are the root letters for yulki? Mudare is majzoom. Bihazfil harufe illa. Lam, qaf, ya are the root letters, right? So ya got dropped because of lame jazima, which is also called lamul amr. Everyone got it? So this is mudare is majzoom, and yulki is fail mudare ma'loom, and with damir mustatir hua, so it can have an outside doer, and the outside doer in this case is going to be water. Yum. Very good job. Al yum. Very well done. Bis sahil, he will throw him by the bank of the river. So if he's going to, so it can be, you can just call it muta'alliq bil fail, right? You can call it as muta'alliq bil fail, and there is bis sahil is your jar wal majroor. Yeah, everyone with me? So my dear sisters, all of you now agree that there were 4 words. First was faul atf, second was lamul amr, third was fail mudare majzoom, fourth was damir haul ghaib mafulun bihi, right? 4 words. Everyone should have this written in their notes if they were not able to catch those all 4 words, and should write each and every word separately, so that when they are reviewing everything, they know how to divide, how to dissect each and every word of Quran. Okay? And see, very small word, it appears to be 1 word but has 4 words. How concise is Quran? How Quran's speech is so, how eloquent Allah is. So yakhuzhu, what are we seeing here? Very well done. This is Jawabul Talb or Jawabul Amr. I like your answers. Number 1, but it is Mudare Majzoom, and Mudare is Majzoom Bisakun, right? Because the Sahihul Akhir is going to be Majzoom Bisakun, as Zal is Sahih letter. So it is getting a Sakun, and who is going to be the Mafulin Bihi. Yakhuz is huwa yakhuz, so we can expect an outside doer for that. And do we have one? And uduwun is the outside doer. Now, when you have aduwulli here, can you connect these 2 together? Yes, there is an idgham, but I'm not asking you to connect them together through, telling me the rule of idgham. I want you to connect it through the grammatical ruling. And yes, common ism followed by jar wal majroor muta'alliq bi sifa mahzoof, right? Or mawsoof wa sifa. Simple, easy, everyone. Mawsoof wa sifa. Waw is going to be your atf. Aduwullahu is going to be again the same thing, but you are going to call it ma'tuf. You are not going to call it doer 1, doer 2. No, you are going to call it, the doer is only aduwun, Aduvullahu is going to be matuf. Simple, easy. I hope this makes everyone's life beautiful. Because when things are easy, when you can attempt things and you can apply whatever you have learned, it gives you pleasure as well, right? Everyone is with me? Type 1 if you are. Rabia, alhamdulillah. Sister Faiza is with me so far. Sister Reena, barakallahu feek. Sister Umm Sakina, I'm very, very proud of all of you. Now let's see here. Wa alqaitu. Now Allah is saying, wa alqaitu. And I have put upon you mahabba, minni. Okay, alqaitu, you are seeing wow. And you can call it atf. You can call it atf. Alqaitu. What about alqaitu? Okay, some are calling wow isti'naf, some are calling it atf. Let's just attempt the sentence and we'll come back to wow. How about that? And I have put love, I have put upon you and I have bestowed upon you love from me. Alqaitu is ana alqaitu fi'l madin wal fa'il ta'ul mutakallim. You can call it ta'ul fa'il or ta'ul mutakallim. Fi'l madin wal fa'il ta'ul mutakallim, and the damir bariz muttasil you can see, and it is fi mahalli raf'in. It is fi mahalli raf'in because this ta damma, it's always going to be ta damma no matter what. So it is mabni ala dam fi mahalli raf'in. Okay, fi mahalli raf'in. Barakallahu feek. Alayka jar wal majroor mutalik bil fi'l. Mahabba. What is mahabba? What did Allah put on him? Allah bestowed upon him mahabba, love. Very beautiful word. So it is mafulun bihi and this is common, followed by jar wal majroor. Mawsoof was sifa is the right answer. The relationship between mahabbatan, which is the ism that is common, followed by jar wal majroor, is mawsoof was sifa. In minni, there is something that you are seeing that is wajib. What are you seeing in this combination? Minni is not one word, it is min and yaul mutakallim. There is noonul waqaya. Noonul waqaya is wajib to be present between min and yaul mutakallim. Do you all remember that note from Ardamair? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. It is wajib to have noonul waqaya with harf an and min. An and min. Barakallahu feek. Okay, now see. وَلِتُصْنَعَ عَلَى عَيْنِي. And so that you would be brought up under my eye. So this li, wow is, call it at for now, and li. Go on to li and tell me what do you think about li. Li is ta'lil. Can I say that this is, what is it called? There's another li that has mudari mansoob after it. Can it be lamul jahud? And if not, give me the reason. It is not. Why not? I know it is not. Comes after ma kana or lam yakun. Barakallahu feek. Ma kana lam yakun. Very well done. Ma kana lam yakun. You are not seeing that? Cannot be lamul jahud. The second lam, lamul aqiba. What is the problem with this being lamul aqiba? Why I'm not going to call it lamul aqiba? Allah wanted the result, right? Allah desired, Allah put the muhabba so that everything was done. Water will happen, this will happen, that will happen. This was what Allah was this lam has an action after it. That was the intent, that was the intention of the doer. Therefore, it can only be lamu ta'lil. After lamul aqiba comes an action that was never intention of the doer. Okay? Okay? So I hope you find this review beneficial and you keep on, with every word. Alhamdulillah, I was not expecting that, about, lamul amr being discussed. So alhamdulillah, we are, And that is what, I can, Sister Faiza is going to share with you the book of, the all the books that, that you can buy. But inshallah, how to use them, you need to, you can have them, but sometimes, using everything is very, very important. Okay, so now look at tusna'a. Tusna, what kind of a fail is that? It is mudare mansoob, and it is mansoob bi an mudmira, right? After lamu ta'lil, there is an mudmira. After lamul jahud, an mudmira. After lamul akiba, an mudmira, right? And sometimes after lamu ta'lil, after this one, can an be visible as well? Is there any case when you do see invisible? When is it? Yes, and there was also something that we found out. I mean, Sister Faiza actually brought it to my attention. I think that there was no la, I think, and still there was visible un after. Yeah, right, Faiza? So yeah, without even negation, without la, it was visible, and that is how I want each and every one of you to, when you are learning Quran, we have, it, the purpose is that, it is for our spirit, to increase us in spirituality, and, and it is it should be the source of purification for us, not a source of intellectual high. But at the same time, if we don't understand something, we cannot, you know, we cannot, if you don't understand the words of Quran, you cannot take lessons from it either, right? So, but may, spend, sometimes, getting involved with the Quran, honestly, it keeps you away from many bad things that you could have been in, could have involved yourself into. So that is, keep, Quran as a source, as something that is always keeping you on the right track. Okay, so inshallah. So litusna'a is is it mudare ma'lum or majhul? It is majhul. Barakallahu feek, very well done. And tusna'a, so that you are, and how do they translate it? Let me see. I would like to see the translation over it. Okay, translate over mouse. So that you would be brought up under my eye. So, sometimes how, the action is highlighted when the doer is not mentioned. Who is manufacturing him? Who is bringing him up? Who's responsible? Who's taking the ownership of bringing him, Musa alayhi salam, up? Allah Himself. But He wants the focus to be upon the bringing up of Musa alayhi salam under His eyes. He wants you all to focus how Musa alayhi salam was brought up, how bringing up of Musa took place right under the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is why you are seeing fail, majhul. Allah could have said, so that I bring you up under my eye, right? But Allah did not say that. Allah wants you to focus on the action. Allah wants you to focus on Musa. Allah wants you to focus on how He, you know, you know, created all, this how He create, He planned everything. How He planned everything around Musa to nurture him, to bring him up, right? What a perfect plan it was. Okay, barakallahu feek. So now this vow, um, you can probably I will, because this is, just continuation. The meanings are quite, some, Sister Serena says that, it is vow istinafia, but it seems to me, yes, it is going to be. Yes, it is going to be. So why it is going to be muta'alliq bil whatever has been mentioned before. So and I put muhabba upon you, and so that you are, it seems to be, this is, muta'alliq bil, whatever has been overall mentioned before. So you don't see, you usually would not expect a wow there, right? And you are seeing, there is a masdarul muawwal after, li, and which is fi mahalli jarin. The entire thing is fi mahalli jarin, and this seems to be, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did so. But one thing is, what you are not expected to see is that there is wow. So alkaitu alayka muhabba minni, so that, I nurture you. But it seems like, the whole plan that has been planned out before, putting him in the tabut, then throwing him in the river, and then water taking him to the bank, and his enemy taking him, picking him up. That is, that has all been done so that Allah, bring him up right under his eye. And this ala aini, there is another way for ala aini. We are calling it muta'alliq bil tusna'a. What can be another labeling for ala aini, under my eye? How can we also think about it? Yes, it can be. It can be muta'alliq bil hal. Very well done. Very well done. How? I will bring you up right under my eye. Right under my eye. Is it answering ala aini, answering your how question? How will I bring you up? How will you be brought up? Right under my eyes. Huh? So, there was so many questions. Sometimes we will be, thinking in our minds, what is this muta'alliq bil hal mahzoof, when we did not know very much that jar wal majroor can also be the hal for something. So now I hope everyone is able to get this, that sometimes how jar wal majroor is answering your how question and can be muta'alliq bil hal mahzoof and all that, right? Min al file. Okay. So, 1 second, I am just seeing. 1 second. It was now, okay, this is uh hmm. Okay. Any questions so far? Should we start this one? We have 8 minutes, and let me see how. Okay, we can keep going, right? So is tamshi, is tamshi ukhtuk, tamshi muta'alliq. Okay, just a minute, you start answering for tamshi and I'll be right back. Yes, you can, the vow, these vows, you can call them vowel at. You can call them vow at. There is another way of labeling the first vow. Wa alqaitu. Sister Zarina had a question. Could it be istinaf? I was thinking about that, and some places you may find it as hal. How, this can be vow halia, and the sentence after it is, can be, this is the hal of Musa alayhi salam. So how isn't it the description that his, Allah's muhabba was placed on him while all that was happening, when he was being thrown in the tabut and then in the river, and then his enemy took him, while I put upon you muhabba, love from myself, right? So this vow, the first, this one, wa alqaitu, this vow can be atf. Mostly you will find it as atf, but it can be hal of whatever has been mentioned before, hal of, Musa alayhi salam, that Allah has put he was such cute baby, and his condition, Allah is describing him as someone upon whom he has put his muhabba. Okay? And then the next one seems to be atf, and then is tamshi muta'alliq bil. Tamshi is going to be jumla failure, mudare, and damir mustatir, right? And the damir mustatir, when the damir is mustatir, it is hiya tamshi, and I'm going to look for an outside doer. Do I find here an outside doer for that? Ukhtu, ukhtuk, ukhtuk, your sister. So just see how Allah raised the mention of some people just because of what they do. So tamshi, when you look at fail tamshi, what is the status of tamshi, since mudare is mu'arrab and every mudare has marfu, mansub or majzoom status? this is going to be, by itself, it is going to be marfu in status bil fatatul muqaddara alal ya. But when you look the jumla fail at the jumla failure coming after is, you are going to label it as fi mahalli jarin, as you are all rightly saying. When you look at from the when you look at tamshi, it by itself, it is mudare marfu bidamatul muqaddara alal ya. When you look at tamshi ukhtuk, the whole sentence is taken in context of is, it is going to be fi mahalli jarin, because it is mudaf ilayhi for is. Fatakulu, fa is going to be atf. You all agree? Fa is going to be atf. Takulu, then she says, right? It is again taqib wa tartib wa taqib. So first this happened. So she walked. When your sister walked, then she said, Hal adullukum, should I show you all? Ala man yakful. So, should I show you all someone who can do kifala for this boy? So, hal takulu is hiya takulu, right? Hiya takulu, hiya takulu. Hal is istifham. Hal is harf istifham la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. The whole sentence here, after takulu, then she says, Har adullukum ala man yakfulhu. What is the status of the sentence? And why? It is maqulul qawl fi mahalli nasbin. Now, adullu is ana adullu, right? The mir in this case is, the pronoun in this case, is it visible or hidden? It is ana, but is it bariz or mustatir? It is mustatir, because we are not seeing anything after lam, which is the last root letter of the word, of the fail. So the mir is mustatir. Kum is maful bihi. It is attached pronoun maful bihi. Ala mai. Ala mai. Jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail. And man. What kind of a man you are seeing here? How many types of man you have learned? You have, this is jar in status, this is mausul. Your sister Faiza and sister Shamima are saying that this is man mausula. And this cannot be shartiya, because you are not going to see man shartiya after Allah. You are expecting man like this, man mausula in this place, because it is answering your who should I guide you to someone who can take care of him. So this is man mausula, cannot be shartiya. You are going to be it. What is the problem with that? Why cannot this one be shartiya? Who can answer this question? Barakallahu feek. Number one, fail is not majzoom. Number two, there are other answers for this as well. Barakallahu feek. Very well done. So the fail, first of all, the fail is not majzoom after it, so cannot be shartiya. For man shartiya, there is sadaratul kalam. It comes in the beginning of the sentence. Is it in the beginning of the sentence, or it is connecting whatever is after it to whatever is before it? Right? It is right in the middle. It is, for man shartiya, you are going to see it in the beginning of the sentence. For man istifhamiya, you are going to see it as in the beginning of the sentence. It is from the kalimat. Man istifhamiya and man shartiya are from the kalimat that are for sadaratul kalam. You are going to see them in the beginning of the kalam. This is connecting whatever is after to whatever is before, in between the kalam. Therefore, cannot be either shartiya or istifhamiya, can only be mausula. And very well done, my dear sisters. You don't need to know you don't need to do PhD. You just need to know your basic grammar. You told me there is no fail majzoom after it, cannot be man shartiya. Very well done. That is, even if you don't know that for man istifhamiya, man shartiya, there is sidaratul kalam, you will be saved from making a mistake by just knowing your basic grammar, that mudare was not majzoom after it, cannot be man shartiya. Right? You can say that. Sister Rashida is saying that can this be uskuru, can this be maful bihi? Instead of calling it muta'alliq bil, can I call it maful bihi? Am I rightly understanding your question? You can call it. You can call it. There are always, different ways. As long as you are doing and you are using your brain the right way, I will take it as a correct answer. Absolutely. Grammatically, it will be right to either call it maful bihi, li fele mahzoof, uskuru, or you can connect it to whatever has been mentioned before. Okay, alkaitu alayhi mahabba wali tusna ala aini, when, and you can call it tusna ala aini, and you were brought right under my you were raised right under my eye when your sister was walking. Then she said, should I guide you to someone who can take care of him? Okay, now come faraja'naka ila ummik. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to stop here on the Saleh sign. And if you remember, we have not covered this an. That is for our next session that is coming up on Wednesday. I will make dua here. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ameen wa yakum.